From JBS Studios in Greater New York, this is the JBS News Update with Teisha Bader.
I'm Teisha Bader with the JBS News Update for Monday, November the 4th, 2019. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu briefed his weekly cabinet yesterday on the IDF response to 10 rockets fired Friday night at southern Israel from Gaza, one of which struck and seriously damaged a house in Sderot. The Prime Minister stressed that terror group Hamas, who controls Gaza, is responsible for every attack originating from the territory of the Gaza Strip. He said we'll continue to take action on all fronts for the security of the State of Israel, both openly and covertly, on land, sea, and in the air. Netanyahu said he ordered the strong military response, which the IDF detailed, tweeting, "We struck Hamas terror targets in Gaza, including naval force and training compounds with anti-missile simulator, weapon manufacturing, and storage sites, as well as underground infrastructures." Adding that terror targets civilians, we target terror. Meanwhile, the leader of Hamas, Yahya Sinwar, threatened Israel today, claiming the terror group has thousands more rockets, as well as cross-border tunnels into Israel. Twitter has reportedly suspended accounts affiliated with Hamas, as well as with Iranian-backed Lebanese terror group Hezbollah. French news agency AFP reported that a Twitter spokesperson told them there is no place on Twitter for illegal terrorist organizations and violent extremist groups. IDF spokesperson Jonathan Conricus tweeted, "Kudos to Twitter for suspending the accounts of terror groups Hezbollah and Hamas. Internationally recognized terror groups should never have a platform for their violent extremism." While no progress to report in the political arena in Israel, Prime Minister Netanyahu told leaders of the right-wing and religious parties in his bloc this morning that in recent meetings between his Likud party and Benny Gantz's Blue and White, "We agreed to many concessions. We asked to hear answers from Gantz and heard no answer." Well, Blue and White responded, saying the way to a broad, liberal unity government that the people want and voted for is open and well known to Netanyahu, saying, "We urge the Likud chairman and leadership to come to their senses and not to drag Israel to unnecessary, expensive elections for a third time." Gantz, by the way, stressed his message at the annual Yitzhak Rabin Memorial Rally Saturday night in Tel Aviv, promising, he said, to stand here next year with the head of the opposition, to stand here together, even if we disagree deeply on many things, to give a joint message of Israeli hope and unity. Rabin was assassinated by Jewish right-wing extremist Yigal Amir 24 years ago today. Two Jordanian nationals being held in Israel, setting off a diplomatic crisis with Jordan, will soon be released. The two are suspected of ties to terror groups. They've been held in administrative detention in Israel with no formal charges. And last week, Jordan recalled its ambassador to Israel in protest. The Prime Minister's office announced the upcoming release today, saying the State of Israel sees the relations with Jordan as a cornerstone of Middle East stability and will continue to work to preserve regional security. Jewish astronaut Jessica Meyer posted photos on social media Friday, which she took from space, including of Israel. Meyer tweeted, "My father's globe-spanning journey as a surgeon from the Middle East to Europe and eventually to the U.S., was an inspiration to many in my immediate and extended family." As we reported to you, Meyer, alongside fellow astronaut Christina Koch, conducted the first all-female spacewalk 2 weeks ago. Meyer's late father, to whom she pays tribute in her post, immigrated to pre-state Israel as a child from Iraq. He later fought in the 1948 War of Independence. Meyer brought an Israeli flag among her allowed personal items to the space station, and Israel's President Reuven Rivlin responded to her post Friday, writing, "Dear Jessica, thank you for taking us with you on your space voyage. We are proud of you and send warm regards from Israel." Well, we end with an emotional reunion at Israel's memorial to the Holocaust Yad Vashem in Jerusalem, where the descendants of a Jewish brother and sister had a chance to personally thank the woman who saved them and their family over 75 years ago. In 1943, the Mordechai family was living in Veria, Greece, when the Nazis began rounding up Jews for deportation to the concentration camps. Now 92-year-old Melpomene Dina, who was then a teenager, together with her two older sisters, took the family of 7 into their one-room home, feeding them and protecting them at great risk to themselves. The family's hiding place was ultimately given up, and Dina helped them escape. In 1994, Dina was named a Righteous Among the Nations by Yad Vashem. Yesterday, she was reunited with 2 of the Mordechais, brother and sister Yossi and Sarah, and 40 of their offspring, receiving hugs and kisses from their children and grandchildren one by one, after which a teary Dina said she can now die quietly. Taking a look now at our programming for tonight on JBS for Monday, November the 4th at 7 o'clock, it's The Wisdom of Dr. Ruth. At 7:30, Jewish-Hungarian author and screenwriter Gabor Santo is featured on Jewish Cinematheque. At 8, it's the 2019 Friends of the IDF Gala in New York City, highlighted by personal stories from IDF soldiers and a musical presentation by the IDF Musical Ensemble. At 9, Mark Golub sits down with dinner chair of the 2015 FIDF Gala, Rabbi Peter Weintraub. At 10, leading philanthropist Charles Bronfman speaks at the 92nd Street Y. And coming up right after this newscast, it's Good Week Israel. And that's the JBS News Update for Monday, November the 4th, 2019. I'm Teisha Bader.